Yes.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. On show today, Dr. Joseph Marianus Kujur, SJ. Father Marianus Kujur, as we commonly refer to him as, who heads the institution which leads the way in India for social sciences, XISS Ranchi, Jharkhand. It's something which is acronym for Xavier Institute for Social Sciences, a premier institute on the lines of the TISS Mumbai. XISS is something which delves deeply with the education revolving around HRM, rural development, and marketing practices. It is established over 68 years ago, 1955, by the St. Xavier's Jesuit Society, and it is aptly being, handled by a strength of almost 55 to 60 strong, faculty members, along with 700 odd students every year. Father Kujur is going to take us through the chronology of events about the evolution of XISS. Over the last 68 years as a premier institution, the ethos, vision, philosophy, and the contribution to the national growth and development in this final quarter of the century of India's independence. Father Kujur is also going to be throwing some light upon the culture, the campus, the admission process, the dynamics, and the kind of students they churn out every year from this prestigious institution based in the mining landscape of India, Jharkhand, and the capital of Jharkhand, a newly formed state, Ranchi. I hand it over to Father Kujur, Dr. Joseph Marianus Kujur, to now speak about the entire ecosystem around XISS for the world to know the prowess, the might, and the unparalleled kind of culture institutions like XISS, who are part of the Xavier's educational contribution globally of almost 3,900 institutions with almost 30 lakh students being churned out. That kind of a global giant of Xavier's institutional framework, the only premier social science institution in this country is XISS. The sister concerns XLRI and XIMB are equally good. At the moment, it is XISS. Over the next 25 minutes, over to you, Father Marianus Kujur.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Vision India Forum. It's indeed my privilege and honor to address you all in this platform. And I'm so very happy and excited, as I said before, to be part of this process of education, I would say. Through this platform, you are trying to educate people, which is so very important. And this is part of the process in the nation building. Having said that, I would like to start with the name itself. In fact, it's not social sciences, but it's Xavier Institute of Social Service, which doesn't it sound very strange? A management institute of this stature having its name or adding in its name social service and not social sciences or something to do with business or management, etc. But you rightly asked me, sir, to speak about its evolution and development. It had, or XISS, it's a short name of Xavier Institute of Social Service, had its humble beginning on the campus of St. Xavier's College, Ranchi, which started in 1944. St. Xavier's College, Ranchi started in 1944, but on the same campus, in fact, under the staircase, it had a very humble beginning in the person of late Father Michael Winde. He was a Belgian missionary with a great vision for the future. So he started it in 1955, and it started as a social service league, in fact. So the original idea was to evolve this or to start this Xavier Social Service League to be in the service of the people, for the welfare of the people. And later on, it evolved in terms of something new for the development of the people. And from the St. Xavier's College campus, it was shifted to its present site in 1973. And in fact, it was registered as a separate educational society under the Societies Registration Act 21, 1860. And in fact, thereafter, 1978, in fact, it moved to its present location. Prior to that, it was registered in 1973, but to its present location on the Dr. Kamil Bulke Path, which was earlier known as Purlia Road, it was shifted. And education at Xiss at that point in time, and now also, means sensitizing the students with appropriate values, attitudes, and critical thinking tools that set them apart as professionals with a difference. So this is the clarion call Xiss has given to its stakeholders, primarily the students, professionals with a difference. What started 68 years ago as a center of social service founded by the Society of Jesus has today grown into a reputed business school across the country, across the world. And to add to this Vision India Forum, the uniqueness of the professional education at Xiss is that it promotes excellence in academic as well as in grassroots experience through rural camps and field works, through rural retreats. So our students go and stay in the villages. That's one of the components, apart from industrial tours, etc. So this makes the students fit in any industry or organization at the local, national, and international levels. So today, to give a little more information about the institute itself, the institute initially started two programs. One was known as personnel management, with a lot of focus on the personnel management and industrial relations. And also there was another program which was known as RD, rural development. But today we have four programs. PM or personnel management has been converted into HRM, human resource management, and RD, rural development, into rural management program. So therefore, this is the very basic information about Xiss. We have four programs apart from HRM and RM, that is rural management. We also have financial management and marketing management. The intakes in HRM and rural management are 75 each, and in financial management and marketing management, 60 each. Apart from these four flagship programs, we have other departments. So these programs are headed by the HOPs, head of the programs, but there are also departments like research and planning headed by a head of the department. We have ADP, that is entrepreneurial development. We also have research and publication. So we also have a flagship sort of publication in which is recognized by the UGC. That's in the UGC care list, Jharkhand Journal of Development and Management Studies. So therefore, apart from this, we have a very good library, and recently we added to the library a new resource center in the name of the tribal research. Remember, many years ago, there used to be a commissioner in Ranchi whose name was Dr. Kumar Suresh Singh. He was also the chairperson or the president of the Anthropological Survey of India, and he has authored, or rather he has chaired many sessions which of the scholars who were working on the tribes in India, or castes in India, or peoples in India. And he had, to his credit, more than 54 volumes on the peoples of India, but he has written enormously on the tribes of India, primarily on the tribes of Chotanagpur. And he was so much in love with the culture of the people here. When he died, he, in his will, he wrote he wanted his ashes to be immersed in a river in Tajna River, which is in the heartland of the Munda tribe in Khunti district. So that's how he showed his love for the tribal people, and therefore, but uh, what I'm trying to say is the family members of Dr. Kumar Suresh Singh have donated more than 3,500 books and many manuscripts, handwritten and typed, to exercises, and therefore we have extended to our library Dr. Kumar Suresh Singh Tribal Research Center. And there are already many scholars from Delhi and from Ranchi and many universities coming and availing our resources. But these are additions to the main programs that we are running. As far as this is important for us to understand, in view of the name itself, Xavier Institute of Social Service, because our mission vision clearly states that we envision a center of academic excellence towards creating a sustainable society with peace, justice, and reconciliation. So this is in our vision itself, enshrined in our vision. Our mission is to become a leading management institute or school in India by offering a portfolio of academic, research, and social involvement and outreach programs. And therefore, these are enshrined in the programs or in the courses of all the 4 programs. We also envisage to create leaders with conscience, compassion, competence, and commitment for sustainable development and empowerment of the marginalized. So these are the mission and vision of exercises, very much true to its name. Just to start off, this much I had to say. If you ask me some more questions pertaining to what you presented in the beginning itself, then I'll be very happy to respond to them one by one.
In the last, I mean, first of all, this is your 50th year of registration as a society, I guess. 51st year.
Yeah, that's right. So it was first registered in 1973.
So now it's the 51st year.
That's right.
Over the last 68 years of existence, how many students have you churned out?
Exact statistics I'm not able to give at the moment, but initially we have had only 2 programs, as I said, personnel management and rural management, with 75 intakes each. But later on, in 2005 onwards, we had financial management and marketing management with 60 intakes each. So therefore, these are the programs. So
you also have something with certificate program with the National Stock Exchange.
We have one certificate program which is known as Geoinformatics (GIS) for a period of 6 months. But right now we have got permission to extend it to 1 full year diploma program, and permission, and therefore we are just waiting for the extension of approval so that we are able to launch it from July onwards. So, but we have one certificate program already that is known as Geoinformatics, in short GIS.
That's fine. But there is also a program with the NSE, National Stock Exchange.
In the past, if there was, I'm not aware of. I'm going to complete 3 years, but right now we don't have any other certificate programs.
How is there, because you see your strength revolves around HRM and rural development.
That's so total intakes that we have is 540 right now. Okay, so both the years. So yeah, so therefore, what was your question, sir?
No, you are right. 75 HRM, 75 rural development, and then you have got 60 in the rest 2 programs,
yeah, that's
finance
right.
and marketing. That comes to 270 intake per year, and henceforth 2 year combinedly, you have a campus strength of 540 students.
That's right. That's right.
So I got my mathematics in place. Now, correct. How is your HRM different from Father, let me complete, different from the HR management courses or the specializations of HR in the second year of general PGTM programs, which are conducted by the host of top institutions, also including the IIMs and the XLRI. your sister concern?
Yeah, that's a very good question. And we have been debating this for a long period of time. But while other B schools have general HR, we have HR right from the beginning for a period of 2 years. Main focus on HR only, with IR included. And and HR, as I said, is one of the flagship programs across the country, and therefore after Excel or IMS and maybe the TIS, so our number comes after them. But then one of the most demanded programs is HR, and there is no plan to shift to any other mode or to shift to any other ways in which others are doing. We are quite satisfied, and there is much demand for that as it is now.
I mean, 75 students a year in a country of 140 crore people. I mean, there is always going to be demand for them. 75 top HR graduates coming out of XISS. This country would always be in dearth of the right resources. I mean, you're saying your institution is in the same lines of TISS, XLRI, and the IIMs as far as HR is concerned.
That's right. Uh, uh, Definitely, they have an edge at the moment, but then we are definitely very much in demand right now. That's what I'm saying.
What is your admission process, Father?
Admission process, of course, we take we accept three qualifying exams: ZAT, CAT, and CMAT. Okay, only three qualifying exams, and then we have GDPI thereafter, depending upon the percentile, the cutoff, and once they are shortlisted, we publish the merit list, and on the basis of that. But to tell you, one of the components that uh, makes exercises different from other B schools is that we have a policy of reservation, which many other B schools may not necessarily have. We are basically a minority institution, and therefore we have a commitment towards the people coming from the minority categories, and also as per the state law here for the scheduled tribes population, and there are others. Therefore, we have a certain percentage of reservation for these categories, and but its merit is not compromised. Whatever the cutoff, they have to meet these criteria. Only then they can be admitted to exercises, and therefore they are scrutinized. Their applications are scrutinized, and they are scrutinized in the GDPI. And after that, the process of admission as per the notification of the AICT.
What is the percentage of reservations quota in the admission?
Admission for total, in total, we have 50%, but 30% for the minorities, Christian minorities, 10% for the STs, 5% for SCs, and another 5% for OBCs and others. So this is the breakup of the total 50%. And
minorities means Christians only.
Christian, primarily Christians, yes.
Okay. And now, what is the kind of course fees for the 2 years period?
It's 9 lakh plus as of now. So it's much lower compared to other B schools. So but this is only tuition fee, development fees, etc. But if they have to go to, let's say, industries for industrial tour or village retreats, etc., so they have to pull resources at that point in time. But in the future, we are planning to change our policy and then collect the amount in the beginning itself, so that there is no need for the students to collect money for various outings over and over again. So, but this is in the pipeline.
Is it a residential program?
As of now, no. But in the future, we do have a plan, because we have a plan to shift to another bigger campus on the Ranchi Tata Highway, and I'm sure it's going to materialize in the next 4 or 5 years. But if that happens, then we'll make it a completely residential program like XLRI or XIMU or some other reputed B schools. That's in the pipeline.
And what are the kind of packages?
Packages as of now, we have 20-25 lakhs per annum, highest on an average. If you take into consideration various programs, then about 12-13 on an average. Some of the programs which may be a little less, but then on an average, if you see, it's between 10 to 12. And on the higher side, it's more than 20, 21, 22.
Okay. Dr. Joseph, could you throw some light upon the kind of engagements your institution has with the local, population, especially being a institution focused towards rural development and tribal research, because you have a research center on tribals also, and Jharkhand being a tribal state. What are the kind of initiatives that set you apart in terms of social services knowledge inculcation in the students, especially from the field visits and research training programs that they engage in, probably the field trips that they engage in, because the kind of opportunities they have from a tribal and social services perspective is something probably which the students studying in an IIM Ahmedabad would not be having.
That's very true. One of the things I would like to state is because of the projects that we undertake from the Senate as well as from the state government, we also have a recognition from the Ministry of Rural Development, Ministry of Agriculture, Ministry of HRD, New Delhi, Niti Aayog, etc. That's of course Planning Commission, but so we do apply to these institutions, and we have some projects, and our students, primarily of the rural management, go to the villages for exposure programs, because they should be in touch with what's happening at the grassroots. Therefore, these are the Indian realities that they are exposed to, and it's a great learning process for them. They are also sent to various blocks for block placements, etc. And they watch, they study what's happening about the development programs in the blocks. And therefore, when they come back, they are very much educated, and they are quite satisfied. It's the case not only with rural management, but even HRM sends its students to various locations for rural retreat uh, under the guidance of two faculties. And therefore, they stay there for about 5-6 days, or sometimes a little longer, and they visit the villages from there, interact with the villagers, come to know about the issues and the problems of the villages, and try to analyze them, so that they inculcate in themselves a critical thinking, critical analysis. So this is the purpose. So this is one of the things that sets exercises apart from other B schools. So therefore,
people get placed in corporates, I'm sure.
Yeah, that's right.
What about the rural management students? Where are they placed?
Okay. In the past, the trend was slightly different. It has changed during the last 1 or 2 years. In the past, definitely, they used to be absorbed mainly by the development projects and development sector, and also by many of the NGOs. But because of certain policy change and some problems with regard to FCRA, etc., there were little there were some difficulties with regard to their placement with the NGOs. So now our students are very much prepared. They are also being prepared. So, and they are specializing in CSR, and therefore they are also with the corporates handling CSR portfolio, and they are also being recruited by the corporate sector. So this is a new trend for the last 2 years, and now we also have to keep changing according to the changing trends, and therefore students are happy. We are also happy that things are being adapted as per the market trends. And
brilliant.
Also,
I mean, the Companies Amendment Act 2013-14, the kind of mandatory laws for the CSR spend of 2% of the profit after tax that was introduced in 2014 April onwards has opened up a new window of opportunities for excise students. I'm happy to know that, because Vision India Forum sister concern CSR India is heavily into CSR initiatives across the country. And therein, I think there is a huge convergence of what you call agenda of the two institutions across the two streams. Now, if I may request you to tell us something about the co-curriculars. Before that, what is the role of the tribal ministry in the functioning of exercises?
No role as such per se, because tribal ministry is handling what is supposed to do either in the state or at the center. So, but if we have any projects, and as I said just a couple of minutes back, we have launched a new tribal resource center. Now, we also apply to tribal ministries, both at the center and at the state level for some projects, and we are very happy. If this is important, if we are able to make some policy interventions either with the center or with the state, then we'll be very happy, because then it's not project for the project's sake, but our faculty and our students and are involved, so that the state comes out with some policies which are favorable to the government. Recently, we had applied for a project to the Tribal Research Institute of Ranchi, and we have been informed that it's being accepted. It's on the tribal sub plan. So they've see, tribal sub plan was introduced primarily for the benefit, for the welfare of the people, but it has not benefited the beneficiaries to the extent it was expected. And therefore, the government would like to know as to what the strengths are, what good things have happened, and what else can be done. And therefore, from that point of view, we are going to make some recommendations.
Father, I'll give you an insider, view about what the government has been doing and how you could probably leverage on the initiatives of the government, especially the Modi-led government in the last 10 years, has been spending huge amount of money in the TriFed.
Okay.
TriFed is a part of the tribal ministry, which is led by somebody, a son of the soil, Arjun Munda, tribal affairs minister. And he is from a nearby village from Ranchi. Kharasua is an area from where he comes, Kharsua or whatever it is called. It is in that, belt near Chakulia and all that. And it is also famous for the favorite and the famous Chow dance, which is a UNESCO heritage, cultural heritage, intangible cultural heritage. It has been adopted as one of India's intangible cultural heritage by the UNESCO. TriFed has spent and doled out huge amount of money for the internationalization of travel products. And you have a marketing department also catering to 60 students. So it's a kind of a very, very potent combination as researchers, students of marketing plus rural development and HR, that you could offer and work in collusion, in collaboration with the tribal ministry for their initiatives, which are international now across the world. Almost, I remember almost 100 plus countries, the ambassadors were working on the popularization of the TriFed marketing schemes of the tribal products, which is something there could be a backward integration from an education perspective with your institution as well. And this is something which you need to discuss very fast and very closely with the tribal ministry. And we will render whatever support we can to you to ensure that something like this, should have been done. If it has not been already done, it should be taken up very seriously. Now, going forward, what are the co-curricular activities that you people engage in?
There are many such co-curricular activities. Our institute has as many as 7 clubs of the students. Each program has its own program club, but apart from that, that means 7 plus 4, we have 11 clubs, and every student is supposed to be definitely automatically is part of the club of the program, plus a student has to be part of one extra club at least. So therefore, that's a requirement. And therefore, these clubs do organize many activities. And therefore, what our focus is that student-led activities, college-led activities. There are certain properties of the college, but they are given to the students, like panache. Panache is one of the fests of annual fests of the institute, with the support of the faculty, the students too. And therefore, sports and games, quiz competitions, or we have students organizing, or various programs organizing many programs, and they invite students from other B schools also. And therefore, these programs continue throughout the year. And therefore, among extracurricular activities, these are some of them which I can narrate before you.
For CSR, are there any industry, academia collaborations?
There is, yeah. One of the slogans we have also given, apart from the academic rigor that we are emphasizing on, uh, uh, academia industry interface is so very important, and therefore alumni base is very strong, and alumni are helping us for our industry connect. And our students every year go to various chapters, alumni chapters, whether it be Hyderabad, Mumbai, Delhi, Kolkata, etc. So everything is organized by our alumni, and they, for example, I'm just giving an example. Last year I was present for the alumni meet in Delhi, and during that time the students from marketing and HR had visited Delhi, and they visited as many as 27 to 30 industries in Delhi alone. So therefore, wherever they go, whether in Kolkata or Hyderabad, our alumni are helping them to connect with the industries. And many of our CEOs and CHROs, our alumni, are in touch with us, and they are, in fact, helping our students and our stakeholders for this industry connect. So that's very much part of our, agenda as far as our.
Is there any investment? Is there any investment that has been done by any of the corporates with the institution for building up a CSR ecosystem, which helps not only the students but also that organization to engage more realistically and engage more actively with the CSR initiatives, because especially the public sector companies, central public sector companies, they are big spenders of CSR. So any top alumni who are connected with your public sector companies, or are you having any connections or backward integration of their CSR division with your institution? Could you name a few of the public and private companies or the top CEOs who are working with you?
Yeah, as of now, we have these contributions at small or humble levels on the basis of activities that we have conducted, etc. In terms of some scholarships, in terms of some activities, sponsorship, etc. But many of our alumni, many of our chapters have also asked us to give a blueprint of the new campus that we are going to have, and therefore I wouldn't like to name them or the companies or industries, but some of them have come forward and asked for the blueprint. Once that's done, definitely some of them will come forward to sponsor some of the constructions that we envisage on the new campus.
Okay, and some good names of top alumni, that is something which you should be very proud of, that come to your mind, who have performed and excelled in the corporate and the development, civil society development fields over the last few years or decades. Could you name a few top names?
Some of the CHRO, I have been in the field little late, but I'll get back to you with a couple of names. Right now, I'm not able to recall, but some of them have been at the CEO level, and uh, definitely we are in touch. And some of them, couple of them are part of the board of governors, but I'm not able to recall their names right now.
Any politicians? Because development field.
Yeah, politicians. We have actually right now. Amba Prasad is one of the alumni of Xiss. Amba Prasad, who is from Badka Gaon. Then we have.
Is he an MP?
No, she is an MLA from Jharkhand only. Jharkhand. There is one MLA from MLA in the Patna Assembly, Bihar Assembly. There is one more MLA from the Santhal Pragna region. I cannot recall her name, but then she's also from Excise. So right now we have three MLAs, sitting MLAs, were part of Excises in the past. But we have been able to get only two of them on the campus so far, and we hope that in the future, when we have the alumni meet, we'll be able to get all of them together.
How many guest lectures you organize every year?
uh, Depending upon the program, HR has many programs, maybe about I mean more than 10, 15. RM also has many. Marketing management and financial management have little less, but they also have many such guest lectures on a regular basis.
And how many students appear for your interviews every year?
It's about 15 to 1600.
Out of which you select 250?
250, yeah, in a year.
Okay, that's and how many people are given a call? I mean, out of the written tests?
Not more than 5 to 600.
Okay, okay. So approximately there's a huge probability of somebody getting through once he or she gets a call, because these are reservation candidates as well. Okay, Father Kujur, from a social services perspective, you know, what are your views on Lokpal? I mean, this is digressing from XISS. If you may like to speak a couple of lines,
Yeah,
because these are important social initiatives that this country has, now been faced with over the last decade or so. So your views on Lokpal?
yeah. That's an interesting question. We have been discussing and debating it for more than a decade, in fact. Uh, so very happy that such a concept has come about, such a proposal has been made. There is a provision uh, in the country. However, I would also like to say that we also need to uh, be more serious about its implementation in spirit, and it has to happen very concretely. Otherwise, it becomes a lip service, and therefore, if you want transparency and accountability in public life, then surely we have to give emphasis on Lokpal, and it has to be implemented. So therefore, I can only say this much. But unfortunately, this has not happened so far. But hopefully, in the future, something good will come out of this provision.
When I was an advisor with TISS,
Hmm.
for some time, I used to attend the campus a few times, and I was privy to lot of, you know, political agitations and discussions that were a regular part and parcel of the TISS life. Do you also encourage the same at XISS?
Uh, Two things I can say about this query. Number one, there are so many academic and other extracurricular activities. Students sometimes do not have time to breathe. So therefore, they are from one activity to the other. Then exams, interviews, training or coaching, and so no, there are so many things coming. But number two, I do understand the importance of inculcating critical thinking and critical mind analysis, etc. And therefore, such topics are encouraged for debating. But on the campus, there has been no politics so far, and there has been no initiative taken from the either party. So, but if there has to be any discussion on a political topic or a topic of political nature, which requires analytical thinking and analysis of the students, why not? So, but so far that has not happened from the politics point of view, politicizing the campus point of view. I'm making a difference. I'm making a difference between the two. I'm not able to hear you. Hello.
That's a very heartening statement to hear from you, coming from your mouth, from the director's mouth of XISS, because We also personally believe that education institutions and academics should be kept separate from, national politics, apart from probably a little bit of kind of sensitization towards what is happening from a general awareness perspective. Like, for example, political parties may use such leaders of tomorrow in the development space, civil society space, who could become flag bearers of their ideologies. Henceforth, it is heartening to know that Xiss, despite all the hula around the kind of secularist and anti-secularist agendas being driven, and being a minority institution, it has refrained itself from allowing any politicization of the campus. So that's a point wherein people like you and your management needs to be congratulated.
Thank you so much, sir.
Now, Father Gujur, towards the end of this discussion, expectations from the industry and the government.
Yes. From the industry and from the government, from both. In the light of the National Education Policy 2020, there are quite a few things we need to do. We are a business school, we are a standalone institution, and the challenges are enormous. And therefore, as far as the government is concerned, definitely we need a lot of support, and certain things we are going to initiate in the future in terms of new campus. We also have a proposal to upgrade ourselves to a university status in the near future. So we have started doing some spade work. I have already constituted two task forces, one for new national education policy and another for Xiss University. So therefore, we need support both from the government as well as from the corporate. We need inputs from the government, and also sometimes hand-holding their inputs, in the sense not only online, but then I'm so very happy to share with you, because our alumni, and those not our alumni but they're in the industries, because they are our recruiters, they are also ready to come and address our students and take a few classes and prepare our students for the future, so that they are market ready. And therefore we'll be very happy if we get support from the government as well, for some of the, no, as you rightly pointed out, mentioning the name of Sri Arjun Munda Singh ji, so that we have some of the projects. And in fact, we are in touch with the Ministry of Industries for a project, so that once our project becomes successful, it can be expanded to the entire state as well. That's what the secretary concerned also told us. But we also need policy intervention, and on such issues on development, on the questions of development or livelihood opportunities or entrepreneurship, etc. We need to work together with the government as well as the corporates, so that, because Xiss alone cannot do that, and therefore some funding will be required from the corporate, and therefore whether we can be at the service of the people, and it will be beneficial for all. Government will be happy, because government's job is also welfare, and therefore that will also be taken care of, and corporates also come in to the picture, and therefore Xiss becomes the focal point for harnessing these forces. So therefore, if we are able to synergize these forces, then we can surely take the state forward to greater heights in terms of livelihood, in terms of better standard of living, in terms of better education. Because now with the new education policy coming in, life is going to be very, very challenging. It's exciting, but it's also challenging. It's going to be internationalized. How are the people from the rural areas going to compete with the rest of the populations, which is not going to be easy? So therefore, corporate sector also needs to come in a big, big way, because we also need to develop our infrastructures. We also need online and digital education, and therefore digitalization of education for in the future will be one of the challenges. And I would like to conclude saying that in a AI, artificial intelligence, is going to come in a big way in the near future, very near, unexpectedly. And therefore, we are not yet ready for that. So therefore, we in the business schools should be ready with our mechanism, our tools and technologies, our techniques, and also our course curriculum, so that we are able to train our students. And we should also note that whatever artificial intelligence is going to influence the market in the future, we should also inculcate one more thing: ethics or moral values, because there is no replacement for human emotions. This artificial intelligence will be artificial only. So how do we inculcate in our students so that they maintain their moral values, ethical values, and keep working for the betterment of the society and betterment of the country? So these are some of the challenges we are going to
Women
face.
issues.
Women issues.
Before we end, women issues are very important. What is the kind of ratio generally that you people have of the male-female candidates?
Yeah, for a long time we had 52 female, 48 male, but of late it's about 50-50 or 49-51. Yeah, but then it's about 50-50. So therefore, heavy emphasis on women's intake. Right now, females number may be 48% or 49. But in the past, I have seen the record, it used to be 52%. But there is no sort of neglecting them, but then we are most welcome, and we are ready to
And
welcome
your affiliations currently are with which university?
AICT or AICT in New Delhi.
That is the PGDM, that is the
Yeah,
common,
that's right. That's right.
common
That's
umbrella for all the diploma awardees.
exactly for XLRI for
and you are applying for a university, deemed university status soon.
We are working on it, and then as soon as we are ready, we are surely going to apply for it.
Father, finally, any words for the kind of people who aspire to be future students of XISS? It's a choice which is quite difficult to make, considering your peers are landing up with packages which averages around 30-35, like XLRI was telling me just a couple of days back. And here in the highest packages that you land up with is around 2021. So with all that in mind, and this being a non-residential program, and being sister concerns, the IIMs and other institutions, ultimately it's the career growth that is more important for the candidates. What is the kind of final statement that you would like to give to the students who are kind of potential candidates going forward in the next few years?
Come to exercises most welcome with good aptitude and attitude. Be positive, sakaratmak, and therefore we have so many energies around us, many of them negative. So therefore, whatever energies you come with to the campus of XISS, when you go out of the campus, you should in fact dispel the darkness, and you should go out with positive energies, so that wherever you are planted, you in fact help the industries, help the NGOs, help the stakeholders, or help the organizations concerned to be not only the problem solvers, but also to create jobs and create positive vibes in the lives of one and all. And this way, you can contribute to the process of nation building. And therefore, whatever happens on the campus of XISS is not in isolation. It's in view of making each one of you a good citizen of the country, who is a citizen, who is a person with conscience, competence, and commitment, which is important. And therefore, that's how, when we become good children of our parents, we take care of our children, our parents, we take care of our country. And therefore, never forget your roots. And also, this is the way in which you can contribute to the nation building. Thank you so much.
Father Kujur, let me end the show on a note. Probably Your is the only institution in the country, probably with TISS also in the same league, which is in the education system, which creates social business leaders. But when you're imparting such education to students, my only request and suggestion to you would be, it's an oxymoron. It's an oxymoron which people use erroneously to mislead not only others but themselves, and the darkness that they have inside starts catching up with the entire society at large once they get into leadership positions, because there is nothing called social service and business which can be clubbed together. Thank you so much. And
Thank you
Jai
so
Hind.
much and best wishes. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Nice talking to you.